Mr. Clerk?
Communication 83 requests a briefing from the Director of Parks and Recreation regarding major departmental projects underway and those proposed around the island from Councilmember Jen Ruggles dated January 11, 2017.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Charmaine, for being here. I requested Ms. Kamaka for being here to sort of bring the council up to date on major projects around the island and give us an opportunity to get on the same page on the status of all of the projects on Parks and Rec, and also what their greatest challenges are and the things that are going really well for them, things that they might need, and just to get us on the same page. So thank you for being here, Charmaine.
Good morning. Thank you. I have my deputy here with me. So what I'd like to do first is go over completed projects and then move into ongoing projects and then projects that we intend to do, if that's okay. And then you can ask questions about it afterwards, if that's okay. Okay, so let's start with completed projects. We have the Hilo Bayfront Trails and Waimea District Park completed. We have the Hilo Municipal Golf Course at a 98% completion. We have the Ho'olulu Park new outdoor tennis courts at a 99% completion. We have the Honaunau Rodeo improvements, 100% completed. We have the Hualani ball field lighting completed. Hisaoka Gym new flooring completed. Kailua Park ball fields lighting completed. Kailua Park Canoe Holly number 2 completed. Kailua Park soccer field lighting completed. Kaumanalani Park improvements completed. Kohala Judiciary ceiling construction is complete. We have the Afuk-Chinin re-roofing 95% completed. We're working with the contractor on some minor issues that we've got to resolve. We have the Hilo drag strip and skeet range at a 93% completion. It's a little behind schedule, so I'm receiving phone calls from some anxious drag racers. We have the Kailua Park tennis courts. The bid documents for the lighting there are out to bid. We have the Kamehameha Park upper ball fields, electrical service improvements, 95% completed. We have the Kamehameha Park upper ball field scoreboard replacement, 99% completed. We have the Mahukona Beach Park electrical service improvements, 98% completed. We have the Pahoa District Park Phase 1 at a 99% completion. The Mo'oheau Bandstand renovation is at a 99% completion. Mauna Kea Rec Area, 99% completion. Then in the works, we have the Kuava Sports Field is at a 70% completion. We have the Kukui Haile Park at a 60% completion. The Ka'u Gym right now is under peer review. Konawaina Pool, we are doing the pre-con site meeting on the 9th of this month for solar and roofing repairs, and then we'll start work. And then in Hawaiian Paradise Park, we have the 20-acre parcel there in Paradise Park. We're doing choosing a consultant for planning and design of that park. That's pretty much what's going on in terms of facilities. You asked me my perspective on what's going well for the department, its strong points. We're a department that is 450 strong, large department. During the summer, we pick up 90 summer fun and learn to swim employees for temporary purposes. We have over 200 facilities. We're trying to nail down the exact number. I always say over 200. We're trying to nail that down. So we've got a lot of ground to cover, 4,000 acres. I have been to many of our parks, and our guys and gals do an excellent job of maintaining the facilities or the grounds. The facilities, we try to do our best at that too. That's our strength, our employees. In terms of our greatest challenges and needs, manpower and old equipment. Due to budgetary constraints, we're all tightening our belts, as we should. We're doing more with less. That's our challenge. Where we're going from here, what our primary focus going forward is ADA compliance, repair and maintenance of our existing facilities, and hazmat identification and remediation. And that's a big deal. When we finish off most of these projects, which will be around the middle of the year, our planning division will be doing facility audits, which was called for in the legislative auditor's audit reports. We have facility audits, but they're ongoing. You have to continually update them. So we'll be doing facility audits to prioritize repair and maintenance and funding. So that's basically where we're at right now in my 8 short weeks of working with the department. And I stand ready for your questions.
Could you send us a copy of that? Because it was kind of difficult for me to follow. Yeah, if I had it in advance, I could have been prepared to see what projects were online, and then kind of cross-reference it with how
Okay.
Things were going. And
I'll
then
email you a copy.
you spoke about the Ka'u Gym peer review, and
Yes.
we read about it in the paper, but I
Yes.
don't know much more than what I read. Can you just tell us what's going on? We're spending something like $100,000, right, on this peer review. Is that something that we do for all projects?
I think it's because I don't believe we do it for all projects. I think it's specific to this project.
Why is that? Why specific for it? Was it part of the grant or what?
I
What's going on?
can't answer that. I will get that answer for you. I believe it has to do with the hardening of the gym.
The hardening of
Because
the
it's
gym
a
because it's a
shelter.
shelter. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I believe.
Okay. Over the last few years, there's been a flurry of facilities, construction activity and facilities built. Have you guys done any kind of analysis as to, you spoke of repair and maintenance, operational costs. What kind of impact is that going to have going forward?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Like-
We have a lot of repair and maintenance projects coming up.
Okay, but what about, talking specifically about the new ones, the new buildings. I mean, I know they shouldn't be repaired right now, but operational costs, more manpower needed to work at those facilities, and then maybe like 10, 15 years down the line, what kind of impact will that have on repair and maintenance, as best you can tell? And if you
In-
can't answer right now, that's fine
In
too.
10 or 15 years, there'll be more repair and maintenance.
About how
In terms of manpower, right now, we're structured to man those facilities.
Okay. Because, of course, none of us are going to be here 10, 15 years.
Speak for yourself.
No, you might. I said none of us here. It's kind of good to have some things on the record as to, what kinds of impacts future decision makers are going to be faced with.
Anytime you build something new, it's going to increase
Right.
your costs, increase your repair and maintenance budget. So
I think that's axiomatic already. I just wanted to know if you guys had a kind of, at least a ballpark figure as to what kind of impact it's going to have, at that time. And if you can't, as I said, if you can't answer that right now,
I
it's
can't
fine.
answer that right
Yeah.
now.
And finally, I guess we got to put this one to rest, and you and I have talked about it on several occasions. You know, the contractor, the county paid overtime to contractors. Just tell us what the numbers are for,
The golf course, there was a change order for overtime signed by the contractor on September 15th of 2016 in the amount of $224,189.98, and it was paid by the county on October 31st, 2016.
all right. Thank you, Charmaine.
You know, you went through the list of all the different projects. I too would love to see that, partly because I tried really quickly to tally how many of those new projects are in Council District 3, and I tallied almost 8 of them out of the 20. When I start seeing those kinds of numbers, I become kind of, not concerned, but just looking ahead at the maintenance costs for those new facilities and how we begin to budget for that. And, you know, echoing what our Councilmember Chung is saying, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get ready to get a budget together so that we can prepare. You know, and I also listened very carefully to the opportunities and constraints that you folks have with the department. And, you know, the ADA compliance, I know there's funding for that. You mentioned over 400 facilities island-wide.
200.
Or 200 facilities, thank you. And my question is, of those 200 facilities, how many of them are maybe 15 or 20 years or older? Just if,
Majority of them,
like
them.
75%? Is that-
I'd venture to guess
Okay.
close to that.
Close to that. And, you know, as we look ahead, you know, it's those aging infrastructure costs for those facilities that we need to get prepared for. And that's what we're trying to kind of get our arms around, is how to do that. One of my final question is, can you tell me where we're at on the drag strip? We had some concerns, or some people wanting to know what's exactly going on with that.
The drag strip is at 93% completion. It's slower than we anticipated. That's basically what I can tell you, and the department is working with the contractor to try to move that along. It's scheduled to be finished, I believe, March 31st, but I think we're going to have a tough time hitting that deadline. Right now, the racing surface is completed, so we're trying to move them along.
Okay. You also mentioned the facility audits.
Yes.
I just wanted to hear what your approach is for the facility audits.
My intention is to come up with some kind of a format to follow. What the audit called for is a computer program where you put in all your work orders and the condition of your facilities and what's at the facilities. I think at this point in our careers, that's probably a pipe dream to have that kind of a program. That'd be a county-wide program, actually. So my intent is to generate some kind of a reporting system and have the planners go out in the field, assess what's at the facility, what condition it's in, whether it's more feasible to replace or repair what they identify, and then prioritize that list. That's kind of in a nutshell what our plan is, but to have something that we're using at every facility, a form that, an inventory form that accounts for the condition of everything and the existence of what's in the building.
Thank you.